Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number one of Tackling My Physical TBR. So, I have now 31 unread books on my shelf, and if you look at the total amount of books I have, 31 are a lot. So, I'm going to be taking responsibility and going to read them one by one. So these are all the books that I took out from my shelf for the purpose so you can look at them. I'm obviously not going to talk about them separately, but I'm just going to show them to you. As you can see over here, I have quite a lot of books from different genres, and I have yet to read these. And it's kind of embarrassing because I do consider myself an avid reader, but yes, I haven't read Lord of the Rings.
What?
Anyway, as I was saying, that I do consider myself an avid reader, but I don't know how it happened. I just end up accumulating so many books on my shelf and I didn't even realize it. But now that I have them, I will read them one by one and give you my thoughts on it. And this is episode one of a new series that I'm going to be posting over here. I'm going to be uploading videos on YouTube of me just trying to go through my TBR. So the books I'm about to show you in this clip are no longer with me. I unhauled them recently and I gave them away to my friend. So I no longer have them, but I filmed this clip so I can share with you the books that I gave away. The reason why I decided to unhaul them was because my bookshelf is overflowing and I have no space, and I feel like that I will not be reading any of these books again ever. So I thought, why not give them to someone who would like to read them? I've read all of these books except for Jazz by Toni Morrison. This book wasn't working for me, so I decided to give up on it. But I haven't give up on Toni Morrison yet. I do want to check out her other works. But I'm happy I unhauled them.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember?
Oh, there's so many of them. Okay, so I'm gonna do a reading update because I haven't done one. As you can see, there are a lot of books, and I have explanation for each one of them. First, let's talk about Ian McEwan's Atonement. And I said that I was reading this, and I am. This is how far I've gotten, and I'm liking the story. The story is compelling, but the writing style is just not for me, and I've been struggling because of that. I've been reading this book for like over a week now, and I just feel like that I need a break from this book. The story is good, but it's just that the writing style is not for me. I will come back to this. I do want to finish it. I want to know what will happen in the end, but for now I'm taking a break. Moving on to this, I was thinking that maybe I should start The Complete Winnie the Pooh by A. Milne, which is illustrated by E.H. Shepard. And this is one of those classic children's tales. It has over here, as you can see, it has Winnie the Pooh and the House at Pooh Corner. So both of the stories, okay? And I'm gonna read Winnie the Pooh from this edition over here. And the next story, The House at Pooh Corner, I'm going to read from this edition because I really like the cover. I mentioned this in my last video that I accidentally bought two copies of the same story. I wasn't aware that this story was in inside this edition, and unknowingly I bought this book. But that's alright because I really, really like the cover, and I will read the story from this book. And as for the Winnie the Pooh story, I'm gonna read from over here. So that's the plan. And then, of course, Little Women. Um, yeah, so I never shared this, but my class is hosting a book theater this year, and this semester, sorry, not this year. And we were divided into several groups, and my group has chose the book Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and we're going to take a scene from this book and we're going to act out on it. Or we can take several scenes and make it like a 10-minute play and just act it out. And I've been just going through little scenes that I think are relevant that we can use. I tabbed them so it will be much more easier for me to open them. And I also finished writing the script today, so I took some of the dialogues from this book and the 2019 film Little Women, and I wrote like little scenes and made a 10-minute play. And yeah, that is what I've been doing. I've been really busy with this stuff. Feels like I've been making this video for such a long time. But anyway, today I unhauled another book from my shelf. It's called The Paris Vibe by Paula McLean. And the reason why I gave it away because I feel like that I'll never read this book ever again. Uh, the story is compelling, but the author drags the story a bit in the middle. At least my friend was delighted to receive that book. That's a good thing. So I just thought I'd let you know. Don't know if I should be sharing this, but I wanted to update on a series that I've started reading, and it's called The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon by Beth Brower. And there are 8 volumes in this series. Well, at least so far, there are 8 volumes. And I read the first, second, and in my last vlog, I said that I've started the third volume, and I just thought I'll update you on that as well. I finished the third one, and now I'm on the fourth volume now, which is so good. The third volume was a bit slow, and it took me a while to read it, but the fourth volume is just something is always happening in Emma's life, and that is just so fun. And the fourth volume, we don't really get that much rest in between, which is great. I'm enjoying it so far. I reorganized my shelf today, so it's time for an impromptu bookshelf tour. First, of course, I have the Harry Potter series. I also have James and the Giant Peach, which is not mine. Then, of course, I have most of my hardbacks over here. I couldn't fit all of them, so three of them are somewhere else. But as you can see, I have kept them over here. Then I have the Septimus Heap series. So far, I have 5 of them, hoping to find the last 2 very soon. And I also have Diana Wynne Jones' Conrad Fade, which is one of the Chrystomancy books, and it was good. Then I have some random books over here, as you can see. And I shifted my pile of prospects stack over here, although I don't think I can call that anymore because I have some other books on this pile as well. Then I have all my little classics all together. Well, not all of them are classics, but yes, I've kept all of them together. Then this is a really colorful section. Um, Again, I don't have any category that I use to keep my books. I just randomly put them, and I can also easily find all those books. I never had any problem with this, so it's okay. I mean, it works this way. I have another unhaul from my shelf. I've unhauled so many books in the past weeks, but yeah, Murder at Mount Fuji. This was one of the first books I read this year, and I liked it, but I would like to give it away now.
Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Something in your kiss just told me my sometime is now. Everybody finds somebody someplace.
So I have finished reading the first book from my physical TBR, and that is The Complete Winnie the Pooh by A. Milne. And this is one of the most sweetest and the most adorable stories out there. I just loved it so much, and I would recommend that you check it out as well. One more thing though, as I was reading this, I came to a startling realization that Winnie the Pooh is so similar to a hobbit, and his habits are so similar to a hobbit, and it just that that similarity just made me love this book even more because the Hobbit is my favorite book. Again, completely irrelevant to this video, but I still want to share some ebooks that I've been reading. I mentioned this on my channel that I read ebooks when my physical books are not in my vicinity. I cannot carry my books with me, so I just find ebooks to be convenient. And I finished reading volume 4 of the Emma M. Lion series, and honestly, I have no words. The series just keeps on getting better and better, and we also have a little bit of romantic tension between this male character and, of course, Emma. The male character name is Pierce, but I'm assuming they're going to be a love triangle later on the series. But now, for now, there is no hint between the other male character, whose name is Islington, by the way. We also get to see a bit of Emma's backstory as to why she goes into this despondent state. Sometimes she grieves and mourns for this guy whose name is Maxwell, and we get to see the reason why that is. She also has a lot of history which wasn't fully revealed in this volume, but that's completely fine because I can wait. And I really like the emotional depth that was explored over here. Moving on, I have started another book, and that is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Yes, I have never read this book in my life. I'm reading this book for the first time. At the time when it was popular, I was quite young to read them, and also I wasn't a reader, so I never even felt the urge to read them. But I've seen them referenced many times, and as in people saying that this book reminds them of the Hunger Games, and I'm just sitting over there thinking, what am I supposed to feel about this certain book because I've never read The Hunger Games. So I would like to finally change that and get to this series. Of course, I do want to read the whole series, but I hope that I like the first book. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be reading the series if I don't like the first one. But I have high hopes. I have extremely high hopes that I'm going to like this book. Okay, now it is time to pick up the next book, and that is The Midnight Club by Christopher Pike. And the story follows a group of five young men and women, and they all are terminally ill. They call themselves the Midnight Club, and each night they gather together to tell each other stories of horror and intrigue. And one night they make a pact that whoever dies first from their group will try to contact them after their death. And so one of them dies, and yeah, so all hell breaks loose. Well, At the back of the book, it says the story began, but I'm just taking a bit more of a morbid view on the story. I mean, at least I assume something bad gonna happen, but yes. Let's read this book. So I finished reading The Midnight Club by Christopher Pike, and I was not expecting the story to be like this. I thought this is going to be a paranormal mystery novel. The story is more poignant than, you know, paranormal or horror. It's much more, you can say, deep and character driven rather than plot driven. All of the characters are basically in agony because each one of them has a different type of cancer and they are in constant pain. They're always exhausted and they have to take such high doses of medication to help them relieve that pain. And it's just that they're living a very depressing life, okay? And they question a lot about death and what comes after death, so after life. And most of their stories that they tell each other are related to death and the afterlife or the past lives, as many of them believed. And it was an interesting concept. I really liked it. Surprising, but it was not unwelcomed because I did enjoy the book. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger follows a 16-year-old Holden Caulfield who recounts the events that took place during Christmas in New York City, getting expelled from his boarding school and a mental breakdown and isolation, and he narrates this whole story from a mental institution that he's staying at. That's a really interesting premise, I would say. Cannot wait to dive into it. Okay, so it has been a few days, and I read about 4 chapters of this book and realized that this book is extremely boring. So I'm going to DNF it and hopefully I can return back to it some other time. Other than this book, I have been occupied with the Hunger Games series. So I already mentioned that I wanted to read this book series, and I finished not only the first one but also the second and the third book. So I finished reading the main trilogy. I completely understand why people love this book so much. Like the whole series is fantastic. I loved it so much that I read all 3 of these books in a week and as an ebook. I can never read 3 ebooks in a week. So this is how much I loved it. I'm not going to talk about these books that much in this video because I do want to make a separate video. And also, I haven't read the whole series because there are 2 more books in the series. There are 2 prequels. One of them is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is about the formative years of President Snow. And the other came out recently, and that is the Sunrise on the Reaping, and which is about the formative years of Haymitch. And I'm super excited for that one because he had such an impact on the characters in the original trilogy. Yet we never get to know much about him, so I'm pretty excited about it. So I think this is where I'm going to end the video. Ironically enough, I read more ebooks than the physical books on my shelf, and I feel kind of embarrassed by it, but that's alright. At least I enjoyed the whole process of reading, and yeah, thank you so much for watching.